Because calling it just another app feels like a massive understatement. It is a phenomenon. ChatGPT became the fastest growing app ever. It hit 100 million users in just 2 months.
You need more than just a search engine sometimes. You need maybe a guide. It's designed specifically to talk with you using natural human-like language. This isn't like those old chatbots, the ones that just spit out pre-programmed answers based on keywords. Things. But more importantly for you, the user, it adapts to your behavior over time. It learns from your interactions.
Welcome, curious minds. Today, we're plunging headfirst into, well, a topic that's really shaken things up for a lot of us. ChatGPT.
Absolutely. It's changed how we find information, how we learn, maybe even how we just get through the day.
It really has. I mean, think about it. We're just swimming in this ocean of data constantly, right? How do you find quick answers? Or, really get your head around complex stuff without just drowning?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. You need more than just a search engine sometimes. You need maybe a guide.
Exactly. A co-pilot? Maybe. And that's kind of the promise of ChatGPT, isn't it? To be this ultimate conversational partner, this knowledge assistant.
That's the idea.
So our mission today isn't just to say, here's ChatGPT. We want to unpack its real advantages, go beyond the basics, and see how it can actually fundamentally change how you interact with tech and info.
We'll look at the core stuff, maybe some surprising benefits too.
Yeah, what really makes it tick and why it's such a powerful tool for learning, for getting things done, or just, satisfying that curiosity we all have. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. And I think to really get the power of it, we need to start with the basics. What is this thing, really, and how does it actually work underneath it all?
Okay, starting point. Its initial impact. Because calling it just another app feels like a massive understatement. It is a phenomenon.
Oh, completely.
And here's where it gets really wild. ChatGPT became the fastest growing app ever. It hit 100 million users in just 2 months.
2 months? That's staggering.
Right. Think about that. That kind of explosive growth, it's not just hype. It tells you people immediately saw something valuable there.
Absolutely. It wasn't a slow burn. It just exploded. Clearly, it met some kind of need, a hunger for a new way to interact with AI, with information.
Yeah, a need for something truly interactive, responsive, intelligent.
And that value, that immediate appeal, it comes directly from how it's built, its architecture. At its core, ChatGPT is technically a sophisticated AI language model.
Okay, language model. What does that mean in practice?
It means it's designed specifically to talk with you, using natural human-like language. This isn't like those old chatbots, the ones that just spit out pre-programmed answers based on keywords.
Or the frustrating ones.
Exactly. This is built on the GPT 3.5 architecture, which was a huge leap. And how it got so good at understanding English and other languages, too, is fascinating. It was trained on just immense amounts of data.
We're talking like a library?
Think bigger, much bigger. An ocean of data. Countless books, billions of web pages, articles, stories, dialogues. Just a huge chunk of the text out there.
Wow.
And the key thing here, this massive training, it isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about learning the underlying patterns, the connections, the nuances, sort of the grammar and flow of how humans communicate. It learns the fabric of language.
Okay, so they learn the patterns. But when I type something, it feels almost like magic. I get this coherent answer back almost instantly. What's actually happening behind the curtain? How does it do that?
It really does feel like magic, but it's some seriously clever engineering, deep learning mostly. When you ask it something, it doesn't just look for keywords. No. It uses a deep learning algorithm. Think of it like how a kid learns. You don't give them rigid rules for everything. You just show them lots and lots of examples, and they start to pick up the patterns themselves. ChatGPT does that with language.
Okay, so it sees patterns. Then what?
Then it breaks your question down into smaller parts. It looks at each word, but crucially, it also looks at how that word relates to all the other words around it.
Context.
Exactly. Context is everything. It's figuring out the grammar, the structure, the intent behind what you typed. So like book a flight versus read a book. It knows book means totally different things there.
Right, because of the other words.
Precisely. Once it thinks it understands your meaning, your nuanced meaning, it uses that vast knowledge base, all those books and websites it was trained on, to construct an answer, but it's constructing it based on the context of your specific question.
So it's not just pulling up a web page that matches.
No. It's synthesizing a new response, tailored to you. It's less like a search engine, maybe more like A really, really skilled librarian.
A librarian, how so?
Well, a great librarian doesn't just find books with your keywords in the title. They listen to what you're really asking, understand the nuances, and find the perfect piece of information, even if you didn't ask for it perfectly. ChatGPT aims for that kind of contextual understanding.
That's a great analogy. And the amazing thing is all this complex stuff, this librarian brain, it's so easy to access, isn't it?
Incredibly easy. No special software needed, no powerful computer, really. It's just there on the website, on a mobile app.
Right at your fingertips, basically. Anytime.
Yeah, and that accessibility is a huge part of why it took off so fast. Low barrier to entry for something incredibly powerful. Anyone can just start using it.
Okay, so we know how it works, roughly. But beyond the mechanics, what makes it feel so different, so useful? I think a big part is how it talks to you.
Absolutely. That natural language processing, the NLP, that's one of its biggest strengths. It's what makes the conversation feel conversational.
Yeah, you don't need to be an expert or use jargon, right? You can just ask, like you'd ask a person.
Exactly. You ask conversationally using everyday language, and it gets it. Or at least it tries really hard to get it. That seamless interaction just lowers the barrier so much it makes complex information accessible to, well, pretty much anyone.
Regardless of their tech skills.
Precisely. It democratizes access, in a way.
And it gets better at understanding you, too.
Yes, and that's the really impressive part. It's adaptive. Its NLP isn't static. It learns. It adapts to changes in how people use language, new slang, new ways of phrasing things. But more importantly for you, the user, it adapts to your behavior over time. It learns from your interactions.
So the more I use it,
the more it understands your specific needs, your style, what kind of answers you're looking for, it starts to personalize the assistance.
Which means less frustration, hopefully.
Ideally, yes. Less frustration, more intuitive learning. It becomes more user-centric because it's learning about you. It gets smarter about how to help you specifically.
That personalization sounds powerful. But if we're relying on it for info, we need to trust it, right?
Yeah.
What about accuracy?
A crucial point. Accuracy and consistency are vital. Because it's trained on that absolutely massive dataset, books, web pages, scientific articles, etc., the core design goal is for its replies to be factually grounded and accurate.
Based on the data it learned from.
Exactly. The training is about recognizing context and meaning to synthesize information that's, well, supposed to be correct. But it doesn't stop there. It also learns from user interactions.
How does that work? Feedback.
Sort of. When you ask questions, it analyzes the interaction. Even things like how you rephrase a question if the first answer wasn't quite right. That's implicit feedback. It uses all that to tweak and improve its future responses. It's constantly self-correcting, getting better based on real-world use.
That's interesting. And consistency. Does it give the same answer every time?
That's another key design goal. Consistency. If you ask the same or a very similar question again later that day, next week you should get the same core information.
Why is that so important?
Well, think about research or studying or needing reliable data for work. You need to trust that the information isn't just changing randomly. This consistency builds trust and makes it much more efficient to use as a knowledge base. You get a stable point of reference.
Unlike asking different people, maybe.
Potentially, yes. It aims for that reliable, unchanging baseline.
Okay, now here's something that really stood out to me, especially today with, all the different takes on information out there. The idea that ChatGPT's replies are meant to be neutral and objective.
Yes, that's a significant claimed advantage. In a world saturated with opinions, biases, and different agendas, filtering the information we see.
Right. It's hard to find just the facts sometimes.
Exactly. ChatGPT aims for objectivity because it generates replies based on that huge volume of data using algorithms. It doesn't have personal beliefs or a political leaning or emotions that might color its perspective like a human might.
So it just sticks to the data.
It analyzes the data it has and gives you replies based on the available facts it learned without adding its own views or prejudices. Or at least that's the intention.
That feels really important for tricky subjects.
It's particularly critical when you're looking into contentious or sensitive issues where human sources might be heavily biased. The idea is you get reliable, unbiased information so you can form your own judgment.
It does make you think, though, doesn't it? In this age of, information chaos, how valuable is a tool that just tries to give you the facts, no spin?
It's a really important question. It forces us to be more critical about all our sources, perhaps, and appreciate the attempt at factual clarity.
Okay, so we've got human-like understanding, consistency, objectivity. What does this all really mean for me, the learner, day to day?
It means you can get personalized replies. It moves beyond generic answers to give you stuff that's actually relevant to you.
How does it manage that personalization?
It's through those algorithms analyzing your interactions. As you chat with it, ask questions, maybe refine your prompts. It's learning about your interests, your preferences, maybe even your learning style.
So it builds a sort of profile.
In a sense, it allows it to tailor replies more closely to your requirements, adapting its output to better fit what you need at that moment.
So if I'm researching, say, a really niche historical event, it can give me more targeted info.
That's the goal. Whether it's a specific topic or help brainstorming for an essay or summarizing a particular document you uploaded, it aims to deliver replies that are relevant and meaningful to you.
That makes the whole process feel more engaging, I guess, less like just querying a database.
Exactly. It can make learning or task completion feel more like a dynamic conversation, optimized for your journey, more exciting, maybe even more pleasurable than just sifting through search results.
Like having a tutor who gets you.
A tireless, infinitely patient tutor who learns about you as you go. And that leads directly into another huge advantage: continuous learning.
They keep getting smarter.
Yes, fundamentally, this isn't static software, it's constantly evolving. As you and millions of others interact with it, it collects data anonymously, of course, about behaviors, preferences, needs.
And uses that data how?
It uses that data to enhance its algorithms, improve its responses, refine its performance. It's a self-improving system, learning from the collective experience of all its users.
So it stays up to date.
That's the key implication, connecting it to the bigger picture. Continuous learning means it can keep up with new information, new trends in communication, shifts in what users are asking for. It ensures it stays helpful and relevant over time.
Wow. So it's not just learning about me, it's learning about the world too, in a way.
Precisely. It's like having a research assistant who's constantly upgrading their knowledge based on the latest global information and user feedback. It evolves with us.
Okay. Let's shift gears a bit to some really practical benefits, things that make a difference when you're just trying to get stuff done. First up, it's always on.
Huge advantage. 24/7 availability.
Right. Ever been stuck on something late at night? A coding problem, a question for a paper?
And your human expert is asleep, or it's the weekend. We've all been there.
Exactly. But ChatGPT, it doesn't need breaks, doesn't sleep. It's there around the clock. 365 days a year.
Your always-on knowledge partner.
Which means you can get help or information instantly whenever you need it. Middle of the night, crack of dawn, doesn't matter.
It's incredibly handy, especially if you work across different time zones or just have a crazy schedule that doesn't fit 9 to 5.
Totally. Imagine having that research assistant or tutor available exactly when you need them, on your schedule. It removes a massive barrier.
It really empowers you to work and learn when it suits you best.
And it's not just available, it's fast. The speed is incredible.
Lightning quick answers, generally.
Which means you can get through tasks much faster, right? Less time spent digging for information.
You can save a lot of time compared to manual research hours, potentially days, depending on the task, whether it's finding a fact, summarizing a long document, drafting an email.
You get what you need almost instantly. Less waiting, more doing.
But, and this is important, that speed doesn't mean the quality suffers. That's a common worry.
Yeah, does fast mean shallow?
Not necessarily. It's designed to be fast and good. It uses those powerful algorithms and NLP techniques we talked about to make sure the replies are still accurate, insightful, and complete, even when delivered quickly.
So it's efficiency without sacrificing quality.
That's the aim. And for you, the learner, that combo is gold. You want answers fast, but you also need them to be thorough and reliable. ChatGPT tries to deliver both.
Okay, speed, availability.
Yeah.
What else? Language.
Yes, multilingual support, a massive feature for global accessibility. It can handle many different languages, not just English.
So if English isn't your first language.
You can still chat with it, ask questions, get help in the language you're most comfortable with. It breaks down those language barriers to information.
That's huge. Imagine researching something using sources from all over the world, regardless of the original language.
It opens up so much. And think about businesses, too.
Customer service.
Exactly. Providing support in a customer's native language makes a huge difference. They feel more comfortable, more valued. It can boost satisfaction, loyalty.
Makes sense. Better communication.
Ultimately, this multilingual capability helps democratize information and services globally. It fosters more inclusion, breaking down old communication walls, moving towards more strategic uses. Think about the insights it can provide. For organizations, it can analyze huge amounts of data to help make better decisions.
How so? Finding patterns.
Finding patterns, trends, insights that might be hidden in, say, vast amounts of customer feedback. Imagine analyzing thousands of reviews or support tickets instantly.
What could a company learn from that?
They could pinpoint recurring problems with a product, understand customer preferences better, maybe even spot emerging trends. The source mentions using it to analyze feedback to find difficulties. That data can then directly inform improvements to products or services.
That makes sense for a business. How does that translate to me personally?
Well, think about making a big personal decision, a career change, a major purchase, understanding a complex issue. You could use ChatGPT to help you gather and analyze information from different sources.
Like summarizing pros and cons.
Summarizing pros and cons, identifying different perspectives, maybe even finding data you wouldn't have easily found yourself. It's like having a personal data analyst, helping you make more informed choices in your own life.
Bringing that analytical power to everyone.
Kind of, yeah.
And for organizations, again, another big one must be scalability, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's built to handle a massive volume of requests simultaneously. Doesn't matter if you're a tiny startup or a huge multinational.
So it can grow with the business.
Seamlessly. As your customer base expands, as demand increases, ChatGPT can scale up to meet that demand without, ideally, slowing down or compromising the user experience.
That must be vital for things like e-commerce or customer support centers.
Especially critical there. Think about huge spikes in traffic during a sale or needing to handle thousands of customer chats at once. ChatGPT can manage that kind of volume.
Which helps keep customers happy.
Exactly. Boosting satisfaction and loyalty. It's like having an expert team that can instantly expand or shrink as needed without all the usual overhead and logistical challenges. Consistent quality at any scale.
Okay, something else that feels really important is just how easy it is to use. You don't need to be a tech wizard.
Not at all. The interface is generally very simple, very intuitive. You just talk to it.
No special skills required.
None! That's key to its broad accessibility. This incredibly powerful AI isn't locked away for engineers. It's designed for the average user, for everyone.
And people are using it right, across all age groups.
The data shows exactly that. YouGov found significant usage, like 17% of people aged 30 to 44 had used it back in early 2023. And 15% of 18 to 29-year-olds.
Even older groups, too.
Yep. Almost 10%, 9% of those aged 45 to 64, and even 5% of people 65 and up were using it.
So what does that tell us?
It tells us it's not some niche tech guru tool. It's mainstream. It's accessible and appealing to a really wide range of people, regardless of age or tech background. It's genuinely for you, the listener. And because it's so accessible and understands language so well, its uses are incredibly versatile.
It's not just for answering questions, then.
Far from it. It can be used for so many things. Customer service, education, content creation, coding help. Its ability to process language and learn makes it adaptable to countless scenarios.
Like those chatbots you see on websites.
Exactly. Chatbots powered by ChatGPT can offer 247 customer support, handling common queries instantly, freeing up human agents for the really complex stuff.
And personal assistants.
Yes, virtual assistants built on this tech can help manage daily tasks. Setting reminders, answering quick questions, scheduling, maybe even drafting emails or messages for you. They can become part of your daily routine.
Like a digital secretary.
A very capable one, potentially. Always there to help organize your day or thoughts.
It really is amazing how many things it can already do. And it feels like new uses are popping up constantly.
We're likely just scratching the surface.
Yeah. If you could do all this now, customer service, personal assistant, writer, researcher, what's next? Where else could this kind of AI make a difference?
The potential seems vast, doesn't it? Transforming industries we haven't even thought of yet.
Okay, one last big advantage, and it's a pretty compelling one for most people. The cost.
Ah, yes. The fact that the basic version, which is incredibly powerful, is free.
Right. Unlike so many advanced tools or software that need expensive subscriptions or licenses.
ChatGPT's core offering doesn't cost you anything to use.
Which makes it amazing for people on a budget, right?
Absolutely excellent. Think about students, researchers, anyone who needs access to information or assistance, but can't afford pricey subscriptions.
It really lowers the barrier to entry.
Massively. It democratizes access to this powerful AI. You don't need deep pockets to benefit from sophisticated knowledge tools anymore.
Just an internet connection, basically.
Pretty much. It puts powerful AI capabilities at almost everyone's fingertips, helping to level the playing field for learning, research, and productivity across the globe. It's quite revolutionary in that respect. Hashtag tag chat outro.
So that was quite the journey, wasn't it? We've really tried to unpack ChatGPT today.
Looking beyond the hype to the actual advantages.
Yeah, how it really serves as this invaluable tool for individuals, for businesses. We've hit on its core strengths, understanding context, that human-like conversation.
The huge knowledge base, the consistency, the 24/7 availability.
And that personalization aspect, too. Hopefully, for you listening, especially if you're focused on learning, we've shown how it can be a kind of shortcut, helping you get informed, get those aha moments without drowning in data.
Definitely less drowning is good.
Always good.
And maybe connecting it all back. We talked about how it constantly learns from interactions, adapting, getting smarter.
Yeah, the continuous learning.
It raises a really interesting question, I think. As you keep interacting with AI like this, how might your own learning change? Your own problem solving? Your creativity even?
How does it change us?
Exactly. What new ways of thinking or discovering might open up because of this collaboration between human and machine intelligence? What new frontiers could you explore?
That's definitely something deep to chew on. The possibilities feel huge.
They really do.
Well, we strongly encourage you listening to explore ChatGPT for yourselves. If you haven't already, see how these advantages we discussed actually play out for you in your own learning, your work, your curiosity.
See what doors it opens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We look forward to exploring another fascinating topic with you next time.